Yeah, congratulations to the football actually. Good afternoon to members of the media. Important win. Congratulations to the team. Congratulations to the football club. Congratulations to the supporters. A difficult game, one we had to win because we haven't won in a while in the domestic league. So important for us to win, and congratulations. Very proud of the effort of the players. Very, very proud.
Questions on the floor. Please introduce yourself, asking the first questions.
Maskepe Power FM.
Sure, Maskepe.
The last three, besides this one, here at home, the Nedbank Cup and then the other draws, what have they taught you?
Sure, a lot of lessons. A lot of lessons. We dissected the performance of the team after the break. We had a few structural differences after Al Ahly Royal AM, and then we had a FIFA break. What it looked offensively and what it looked after Swallows, Cape Town City, Golden Arrows, even the Nedbank Cup, there was a few changes in our performance, especially from a positional sense. And then we also had a couple of challenges, of course, and that's normal from a confidence perspective. And but today we had to win. We had to win. We arrived from Algeria early yesterday in the morning after 20 hours in transit. And then allowed the players to go home and see their families for a couple of hours and refresh and get ready for a training session in the evening, and then camp. And no time. We had no time to prepare for this game except video analysis of the opposition, video analysis of our game against Bellevue Stad, and then some structural information from the team meeting. So hence I say to the players, it's incredible what they did today, and I'm very, very proud of them because we had very little, if any, preparation for this game.
Coach, Mahlatsi from Times Live.
Sure, Mahlatsi.
During those three draws and obviously the Stellenbosch, the league was already won, but did you maybe fear that the wheels are somehow coming off, looking ahead of the Champions League? And also, were you maybe in a way taken aback by the response of the fans after that Stellenbosch loss? Because, looking on social media, the comments and stuff, a lot of them were a little bit, harsh, if maybe I can use that word.
Yeah, but that's the life we live in. And that's why it was important to win today, because and to tell you the truth, I think we played much better against Cape Town City. I think we played much better against Golden Arrows. We played much better against Swallows in Dobsonville, much better than what we played today, and we didn't win. So we know that at Sundowns you have to play well and win. We know that. But there are times where we have to show that we are champions. We have to grind results a little bit. We have to roll up our sleeves. People say Rhulani's teams don't push and get dirty, but Rhulani's teams also put a little bit of work today, and they got dirty, pulled up their socks, crafted hard. And it's not always going to be pretty. It can't be pretty because it's not a world of realism and perfectionists and all these things. So as I said, very proud of the effort of the players. I'm not so sure rotation is always the best thing. I'm not so sure. I look at how sometimes the level drops so drastically, and then to elevate the performance levels, because you lose a little bit of mental intensity there, being in camp, concentrating and hyping yourself up mentally to be prepared for the next game and the next game and the next game. And you only have to check the big teams across the world. I was looking at Man City for an example. I went to their game against Bayern. I went into their game in the cup, 4 or 5 changes max always, and they play Saturday, they play Champions League Tuesday, they play a cup game against Sheffield a couple of days later, It's not a lot of rotation. Gundo is in the lineup. Haaland is in the lineup. Bernardo is in the lineup. They play the games. They play, and this is what players need. They play for momentum, for rhythm, and for also this mental involvement to stay in the season. So yeah, we have to go. The risk, on the other hand, is some of the soft tissue niggles. Nasir, Cassius a little bit, but very proud of Cassius and Nasir, because immediately when there was something, they didn't force. They immediately said, hey, and then prevention is better than cure. You make 2 early subs, but that's why we had the bench that we had, and we were already anticipating the changes that we had to make. Even at halftime, we knew we had AB to start, but couldn't give him 90. We knew we had Tapelo to start, but couldn't give him 90. We knew we had Mbule to start, because Mbule needs the games. AB has missed a lot of the season. He needs the games. He needs regularity, rhythm. He needs understanding of how we play and understanding of his teammates. He needs that, because he's had less minutes than everybody else throughout the season because of injuries and many other complications at the beginning. So they need the games, they need the regularity, they need the rhythm, and it was good to see them on the pitch. Very, very good.
Coach, there's this sentiment now that comes up. You look back to how you lost to SuperSport. I know you weren't in charge, but it was talked about how SuperSport was pressing in that game, how the press got them opportunities to get a win. And then even when you beat SuperSport here, I think 2-1, still it was that there weren't many opportunities for SuperSport that they missed because of how the press was coordinated. And Stellenbosch as well, because their 2 goals again were coming from that. What becomes your response, not in terms of what you say to me, but on the pitch with your team to counter that? Do you think that this is something that teams are looking at and saying, maybe there's an opportunity here, and obviously how do you then respond to it?
No, I can't talk about what the opposition does. The opposition can against Belgium start. The opposition was pressing. They come with 3 on top of the defensive line. There's small details, Skepper, in that. Against Ellis, you can't present an extra player because you've got a different profile of a goalkeeper. So who creates that extra player? And that's very difficult, because when they press with the 3, is now is it a central midfielder to make it 3 versus 3, or you need a goalkeeper to make it a 3 versus 3 in the first line? And then the problem is you are short on the other side if you bring a midfielder this side. So I need more time with you to unpack this thing, because what happens on the build-up phase influences what happens as we attack the box. And everything is about the process of getting to the next line, to the next line, to the next line, to the next line. And how do you generate a superiority on your first line of the build-up? We use Ronza. And you see it today how important it is, because even Richards Bay pressed. They were very aggressive with Barnes, very aggressive with Memela, very aggressive with Hlongwa. And then there's a little bit of a movement inside from Nsundwana. And then when they go with a 4, you go, because you've got no Mudiba. So how do you make an extra number? First is Ronza to make it a 3 with the centre backs, and then is Spitzo and Zungu to make it an extra player, and not to comment on this side of the first line of pressure, but onto that side of the first, so that even if it's a 4 versus 3, but because you trust the ability of your centre backs plus the keeper to be able to bring the ball out and to be the playmakers, once you arrive on the next line, you have possibilities to now say, Matebula, will you jump? Mhlongo, will you jump? And if they jump, then it's the centre backs to cover the space behind the central midfielders. So everything is then a ripple effect of the situations where you invite the pressure, So we don't look at pressure as an enemy. We actually look at pressure as something we want teams to do. We want teams to press us because we have then access on the other side a little bit better. So when a lot of people are analyzing our games and say, but they lost because this opponent pressed them, the pressure is actually a consequence of how we play. And so there is going to be pressure. What needs to then happen is how do we then progress and find possibilities to get through the first line of the press without committing far too many numbers on this side, so that we can still generate important superiorities in football that are positional, numerical, and because we already have, as we enter most of the games, qualitative superiority. So to not lose all these things, we need the pressure of the opponents. So as I said, it's a lot more detailed than that, but is day-to-day work, is confidence, is wins, and to get to a space where, as we win, we can improve the team and get better.
Does it explain how important Aubrey and Ronza have been to your team? Sorry, my apologies, because no, that's okay, because obviously it's a follow-up. If it jumps to the other side, then I'm going to bring it back.
Thank you, Chief.
My apologies.
Thank you, Chief. Coach. Can we go ahead?
I can say yes. Yes.
I was hoping for an explanation.
We've got so many games to still play. So I don't want to get too much involved in revealing how we play and all these things, because there's a lot of detail. We've got a lot of games still to play. There's opposition that listen to my press conferences. They watch our games. So I cannot leave our team completely naked. The coaches must and the analysts must still do their jobs and not just get all this information from me. So I don't want to go too much into that. I promise to answer that question at the end of the season.
Coach, 10 hours from sports.
Sure, 15 minutes.
Is it Nazareth's injury that much serious? And
no.
So, but how much frustrating to see him getting injured every time, almost every time when he gets back to.
It's life, it's football. It's like the boxer that goes into the ring and every time he's going to get punched in the face. So is the game of football. He'll be strong. He's there. He's working hard, and I'm sure he will. It's not a serious issue. No, I don't think it's a serious thing.
Coach, now Masana.
Sure, no.
Coach, earlier in the season, I know you spoke about that you're not here for records, and you're here to win trophies. And first of all, Peter, 100 goals in South African football, and Ronwen obviously not playing today, chasing that Monique Joseph's record. After the game against Stellenbosch in the loss in the Nedbank Cup, we spoke on the blog. We spoke about how the difference between just another good season and being great, and how important now, after the disappointment of the Nedbank Cup, for you to surpass the 72 points and obviously the big fish.
We have to try to win every game. That's the thing now. It's difficult times for us, because every game now is a game of consequence. We play against opposition that everyone is playing for something. They are playing either to fight relegation, to get into the top 8, to finish second. So many teams are fighting for that second position. So, and then teams that we play against in the Champions League are fighting to win the Champions League. So every game is a game of consequence. That means we have to be at our best. Every training session, every match, we have to fight. We have to be able to solve football problems. And the dynamics of the problems, and even sometimes when we are a little bit tired. I watched Man City versus Bayern. Man City tired last 15 minutes, but there's a graft. It grows with the team, the personality of the team, the mentality in the team, to know that you can trust each other in difficult moments and you can suffer together. And that was a good example today. So, look, it's not easy. It's tough. But it's the space. Bayern are in. It's the space Real Madrid are in. They're trying to put pressure on Barca. They have to win in the league. They have to win in the Champions League. There's an intense pressure everywhere. The big clubs get into April trying to play with pressure, and that's where we are. We've got a different program. Maritzburg, Richards played against Maritzburg on a Friday. Had an extra day than us and traveled 2 hours less from Durban to Joburg. We traveled 20 hours from Algeria, Algiers, Cairo, South Africa. The day before we have to be here, we have to play, no one has time to listen to our excuses. Nobody. So where do we go? We go into a space where we have to produce the results, and then when you produce the results, of course people look, how can we critique? Where are we going to criticize them, the performance? Okay, when we play very, very well, where are we going to criticize them? The result is football. That's the space. You can't always play well. Similarly, you can't always win. But we chase playing well all the time, and that doesn't exist. But we still chase it. We chase winning every game. It doesn't exist, but we still chase it. So we put ourselves in a very difficult space where either way we're going to get criticized, and sometimes it's harsh. It's harsher than what people you even feel you deserve, because you're giving so much. The players are giving so much. The football club is giving so much to try to win and to try to be better every single match. But without criticism, we can never get better. So we use that energy, the more criticism, the better, because we use that energy to step up and to improve, because we can't rest on our laurels and try to think that we are the finished product. We are so far away from reaching our potential as a team, so far, and we have to work much harder and every single day to try to be a better side.
Coach, just a bit on Ronan. I think it's now 17 clean sheets to equal the record of Malik Joseph's in 2009-2010. I know you have shared away from saying this, but if I would put you on the spot now, given that we are almost done, would you say is your player of the season this man, or among a clear contender for the player of the season?
Definitely among. And I've said it on match day 19, match day 20. I said, what are we waiting for? When are we going to have this discussion? It's clear that it's Sundowns players in the top. Why are we not having this discussion already? We're waiting for a surprise to come. No. Debza, you should discuss that. Ronald, you should discuss that. And then maybe you open the door for Akashas and maybe other names, or Shishi, but the Sundowns players have been incredible. And to do what they've done consistently, not sometimes and then 5 games later, consistently takes a lot of effort. So I know, fortunately, I'm not part of the judging panel, but I can tell you that maybe the judges can tell you also, if they are very honest, that probably this is the easiest decisions on football of the season they've had in many, many, many years.
And who's that?
Well, I've given you that short list, and they've got to just now choose from the 3 that I've given. Well, actually, I gave you 4 names, and they've got to choose between the 4 names.
Yes, sir. Coach, the last 6 years, Champions League, and I'm going to go there. Champions League, quarterfinal, I think there was a semi-final there as well, group stage as well. Was it a relief, a good one, when you won 4-1? I know you said it's not done, but
and it's not.
Yes, but was it a relief to come with such a good cushion ahead of the game? You always score here, and you've played always that before, even though they've beaten you. but I would think you've got an idea of how and who they are now. But was it a relief, and is it something that you're looking at to say, because I remember what you said when you lost to Pedro, that you should have done well away so that there wasn't much of an opportunity for Pedro here. Now, it doesn't look like there is a big chance for Billy that here.
Oh, there's a big chance. This is football. You've seen crazier things. You don't have to go too far back. Manchester City versus Real Madrid. Just last season. You don't have to go too far back. Football teaches you these lessons. There is no chance for us to get complacent. It's not over. And I say this to the players. I'm not just saying it to you. I'm saying it to the players. But we've done an incredible effort to put ourselves in the position that we've put ourselves in. And now we have to now just finish it off and be sober and do the best that we can to make sure that the team is in the next round. It's very important. It's very important for the players. It's important for the supporters. Very important. And it's important for the football club. It's of critical importance. So we know the magnitude of the responsibility. And that's why we can't make light of the next 90 minutes. We have to play against a very, very good side. We beat a very good side in Algeria. We beat a side that's got 4 or 5 Algerian internationals. And the Algerian internationals, you can pick whatever you want to play even in Europe. Mahrez plays in Europe. So if you are Traore in the midfield, Mrzeik in the midfield, Belkatir, the right back, the number 22, a starter, Laufi, a starter for the national team in AFCON. Kendoui, we scored 4 goals against Algeria's number 1. Kendoui, he's a starter. So we beat a very good side, a very, very good side. So a team that has that type of pedigree cannot be taken for granted, and so our preparations commence now. Good rest, lots of water, and then video analysis about some of the things here.
Barefoot.
But barefooted walking. But let's not go too much into that space, and then we forget how magnificent the players were today. They were incredible today. Good fighting spirit and good personality and brotherhood, togetherness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.